Hello, I'm Mo, and I have lost over 140 pounds by eating right, and I have helped hundreds of people transform their lives just like mine. If you're serious about sustainable weight loss and ready for real results, stay with me. I'm going to break down exactly what you need to know, how to get started and stay on track using this channel. Okay? This video, we're going to talk about my 140-pound keto transformation and how I changed my life using what I now call the weight loss paradise. Now, let me introduce myself and my background, my starting weight, and some of the struggles I had faced. So my name is Mo, and I have had a weight loss battle within myself for over 28 years. And when I turned 28 was where I hit rock bottom. I had reached 340 plus pounds. I was miserable. I was depressed. I was tired. I was annoyed. I hated everything. And I just didn't know how to get past it. And the truth of the journey started out when I was moved into America at 8. And when I came here, I was very, very skinny. Originally came from Sudan. And when I came here, I had started eating the American diet. And in about a year, I had started becoming overweight. Well, at that time, my father's diabetes had gotten so much worse. So from watching my father's diabetes and where it was going, I had presumed I had the same fate lined up and the same destiny for me, as I've always been taught it's genetics. After turning about 12 years old, the weight gain had become terribly massive, and my nickname had become Fat Mo. It was depressing, it was saddening, and it was a very, very big struggleful time for me, as many of you who have weight loss problems understand. At 14, my mom's solution was to join football, and the goal was that I would lose the weight through exercising a lot more, as I did have a bit of a sedentary lifestyle from going home, doing homework, and taking care of my mom's needs. At 14, this stupid PE and exercise sucked. I was miserable, I hated it, and actually I think that's the core of what built the hate for me and exercise over all these years. And I think today it is still negatively impacting me by making me hate and dread having to work out. So I definitely understand if you have the same problem. Now at 16, my father's diabetes had become so bad, and I realized there's nothing I'm gonna be able to do, as I've been exercising for 2 years diligently, going to PE, trying to become a good football player, and I never got the chance to succeed in it. It just got worse and worse, and I was getting fatter and fatter no matter what I did. I would even try to eat less food, consume what they would call the right calories with corn and those types of vegetables, and at the end of the day, nothing ever worked. So at that point, I realized I'm better off just working hard and focusing on my financial gains and my future so I could make enough money to pay away my medical problems, just like my father had so many medical bills to pay for. At the age of 19, he had passed. And when he passed at the right weight of over 500 pounds, I believe, it was very bad. And it made me think I had the same fate as him, because no matter what he did, no matter what he tried, no matter what the doctors told him to do, he kept gaining weight, and the situation got worse. It hurt me really badly. It made me feel like there was nothing I was going to be able to do, as I witnessed what my parent was going through, and I was a spitting image of him. My weight gain was just like his. I could see diabetes along the end result, and I knew it was coming sooner than later, and I got lucky. It didn't start. But from the age of 19 to 28, I just focused on working every day, and that's where I hit rock bottom at 28 by being very overweight. But I had watched my father spend thousands and hundreds of thousands on medical bills, and I'm sure you guys have the same issues, or you see that as well. And that's not the answer or the solution. Well, at 28, I had no choice but to change my life. And how I actually wanted to change my life was I was working too many hours, making not enough money in my opinion, and I hated it. So instead of just running the businesses, I wanted to learn to trade online and make money in different methods. So what I started doing was practicing, but I would keep losing money. And I started waking up early, really early, to study. And that's actually what lit my spark to being motivated again. Once I saw there was a new opportunity where I could create new revenue that could free me of all the daily work I had to do, I started waking up early to be able to accommodate to that need. And I had to study. I studied for months on literally trading, what the stocks were, what crypto markets were, and this was at the beginning of about 2018. Middle of 2018, I had given up trading because I could not do it. I kept losing every trade, I kept failing. So one solution was I had to start studying about health, One video had mentioned that the reason you're a bad trader was because you might be overweight and you might be emotionally unstable. And I didn't ever think I was, but I was. I was very much emotionally unstable. And actually, you guys, that's a lot of us when we're overweight. When we are overweight, we have a hormonal deficiency, and those hormones being imbalanced like this does cause very, very bad emotional responses. And I realized that from my trading. I was never mad at my family or like would try to show that to the family, but I would have bad trades, and my bad trades came from not being emotionally sound. So I randomly started just exercising every day and trying my best to eat less and do what I've always been taught. Eat 5 meals a day, very, very small meals, exercise 1 or twice a day. And I was starting to build muscle, which was really cool, but my weight hadn't changed very well and I still felt like crap. I was miserable. And I know many of you guys have that same problem where you're told exercise, 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 eat a lot less calories and you'll lose the weight, but realistically speaking, it sucked. It made it worse. I felt bad, and I'm pretty sure I was just full of cortisol, stress trying to solve this issue. Well, one day I was randomly walking at the mall and I saw a kiosk talking about losing weight using these little keto drinks. And I got intrigued. And of course, I bought a little pack just trying it. And I felt great for the first week of drinking them, but I knew my answer wasn't just drinking packets every day to solve my problem, as I really didn't lose weight, but I did feel better. So I started wanting to learn about the keto in itself, or understanding what my metabolic shift or issues were. I started deep diving into YouTube and other books in regards to this. And I had spent November to the end of January, now 2019 in January, just studying the keto diet and how keto impacts the body and how your hormones impact how you react and what you're doing and the decisions you are making. After I had studied this, I had made the jump on January 28th in 2019 to fully be full-time keto. And the way I thought of it was 2 options. I had the same path that my parents and my aunts and my uncles took, which got them overweight, got them sick, and many of them had died from these health issues and had so many piled up medical expenses just to try to get them to live a little bit longer and never actually fix the root cause of the problem. And then the other was a dark road that I have never seen before, except through these books and through these YouTube videos and talking to some keto people that have lived long from it. And they all looked great. They all looked healthy. And I realized if I was going to make this shift, I was going to do my best to make it for life. And that is a hard part, but I was able to start the journey right then and there. And in 3 months, I had lost roughly 70 pounds. Not even meaning to lose the weight. I was just following this new regimen that did have me eating less, but eating the right nutrient-dense food. We started testing what type of foods we were going to make sure that it fit the macros. Because what I basically learned for those 3 months is that all of our bodies are meant to heal. If you're religious or not religious, at the end of the day, we were put on this earth with a body that's meant to heal itself. That's why we have scars and we can heal from our scars. And that's the best way to have a good long-term life. Well, in order to keep healing, there are ways to keep your body in a hormonally balanced state, allowing it to heal faster and actually fix some of its issues. So once I learned that, and the math was the most important thing, I started just calculating the macros every day. And I had a really good friend. Every day I would send him the list of what I needed and he would make me the right foods for my 1 or 2 meals a day. And I would drink my kale shakes consistently. After the first 3 months and that 70 pounds, I knew this was the right thing to do and I kept going. And now 6 months into it, I had lost fully 130 plus pounds and the weight loss kept coming off. There was nights I would lose 4 or 5 pounds and there was days the weight would stabilize or I'd gain a pound or 2 back. And a lot of that actually came from gaining muscle. As I now had the ability to climb stairs, work out, I had the motivation. I felt good about myself for the first time in my entire life. I had always just felt like I was overweight and everybody looking at me would judge that. And that is just a difficult way to live life. And I know many of you live it now, and just know it is 100% reversible. Anybody can do it if I can, and I have full faith in anybody who wants to try. Now, from these results, I realized my life had fully changed. Because of these results, I had now a better aura about myself, and more businesses started coming to join me and started working with me. Well, in 2019, in the end of the year, around September, my mother had now passed, and she was my best friend and my biggest supporter. And with her death, I was devastated, and I made it a mission to understand that the diet, and I don't even like calling it a diet, this lifestyle is the right answer for the future, to hopefully lower all of my probability of getting diseases and sicknesses and chronic diseases that my family's always been plagued with. It's not just DNA. Maybe my DNA does hold more insulin and releases insulin differently compared to some other people, but at the end of the day, all of our bodies still have the same end result when it comes to fixing its base metabolic problems. Some of us have different outcomes than others, and some take longer and some are way faster. So from then on, I had made it a mission to only eat this way and to try to help as many people locally as I could. And a month into it, me and my ex-partner had started a small restaurant. The restaurant was downtown, and its main priority was serving the healthiest low-carb keto items. And once we opened the store, people nationwide were coming to the store. And I had heard so many beautiful stories on how their journeys and how some people even reversed their cancer, which blew my mind. And I just kept watching people who had tremendously wonderful results from this. And they were coming to our store, not because just our food was delicious, but because the macros were perfect and they understood that we understood every ingredient put into every food. We tried our best to use no preservatives on our garlic bread, our pizzas. We even had brownies, we even had waffles, and we did our best to make ketos, the diet of it, a sustainable lifestyle. And I watched hundreds of people as we started servicing weight loss for them and walking them through their daily regimen. And we also would make all of their food they would need daily. And I ran this thing for about 3 years, and it was the hardest of my life, because if you know a business owner running a small restaurant that serves just healthy diet restrictive items, as you could call it, it was very niche and very difficult to find the right clientele. So we did our best to keep it running, and it was magical watching these customers heal and watching these lives change and watching the impact I was making on others, not just myself. And luckily, through the restaurant, I was able to test hundreds of theories in regards to recipes and body reactions, where if I ate this, what would happen? If my customer ate this, what would happen? And I just kept seeing the results, and it gave me an ability to build an entire strategy based on everybody's different life styles and different body types. As again, our hormones do react differently, but their end goal is to be in a balance and heal us. So from watching all these people heal and from developing all of these recipes, I fell in love understanding that anybody can fix their problems and their chronic issues, and we don't need to be tied to modern medicines, pills, and consistent solutions of just giving us pills to not necessarily solve it, but to band-aid the issue. From that, and from understanding that the restaurant was not able to keep running from the low amount of clientele that really understood this type of no sugar, low carb eating, it made it difficult to sustain that. And as it was just destroying our lives and making it harder to even stay in ketosis ourselves due to consistent cortisol, we had to shut the store in itself down. But thanks to all that information, my team and I brought back together, and we actually moved to Paradise to build something called the Weight Loss Paradise. And luckily, all of the learnings and all the customers that benefit, that are still benefiting, and I'm still communicating with and giving them light advice, just making sure they're still on the right journey and the right path, is so motivational. And now being here, we've started servicing customers online, sending them recipe books and coaching them online. But more importantly, my favorite part of the challenge is having people come visit me here and do a 7, 14, or a 30-day entire protocol. We get them a nice location to stay in, and then they have paradise-based activities, because you do not need to exercise the way I did to lose the weight. You can do it by just walking 30 to 40 minutes a day and then making your hormones balance, and then having us here next to you makes it so simple. And this change has been dramatically beautiful, and watching all of these people keep healing is going to let this mission keep going. Now my goal is to make these videos as much as I can and give as much time to content creation so you from home can do the same thing. You can heal yourself. You do not need to be told that you need to consume 5 times a day small meals with the current food pyramid, as I have never seen it work for anybody feasibly for the long run and be able to avoid chronic long-term diseases. So look, if you want to watch my journey, and we'll start posting other people's journey as long as they're comfortable, click that subscribe button, and I'm going to do my best to get these videos out, and hopefully you learn from them. But just know, my weight loss journey, anybody can do it, and nobody needs to hit rock bottom to start. You can start whenever you're comfortable and you're ready. And there's so much online guides and informations, and it just doesn't hurt to start learning. please just start learning, and please understand, you are not stuck with the weight you're at for life, and you are not going to follow in whatever parent's DNA had you thinking like I did, that you were destined to die from their same diseases. You can fix almost anything in this world within your body, as we are meant to heal. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to get more notifications and videos from me like this, and I'll catch you on the next video.